All right, let's strip it down to the core. Ever wonder why some men dive in without hesitation, fully committed to her pleasure, while others hold back like they're stepping onto a battlefield? What's really running through a man's mind in that moment? Fear, devotion, pride, or something even deeper? And here's the kicker. This isn't just about sex. It's about identity, about who we are at our core as men. Stick with me, because by the end of this, the way you see yourself will never be the same. Number 1, there's a unique kind of pleasure in giving, one most never truly understand. Real confidence? It's not about what you take, it's about what you offer. Some men find an unshakable power in making their partner feel good, not as a transaction, but because giving itself is the reward. Think of it like crafting a masterpiece. The real payoff isn't the work, it's the way she responds. Her smile, her body language, her trust. That's the real trophy, not your ego. Stoicism teaches us to master desire, not erase it. But what if true power comes from giving? What if the ultimate control isn't in chasing validation, but in becoming it? Number 2, here's the unspoken truth. Emotional intimacy is the real game changer. It's never just about the act. It's about letting the walls down, about real closeness, about locking eyes and knowing someone so deeply that physical barriers fade away. And yeah, that kind of vulnerability, it's terrifying. But for the man who walks the Stoic path, facing fear isn't optional. It's a duty, because the moment you let go of ego and embrace her fully, something powerful is born. Trust, connection, something unshakable. Number 3, curiosity shatters comfort. It's what fuels the boldest moves. For some men, exploring her reactions, her rhythm, her preferences isn't just physical. It's art, it's science. You observe, you listen, you adjust. Every movement is a clue, every breath a signal. You're not there to rush. You're there to learn, to connect, to uncover something deeper. And here's where it gets interesting. The power shift. Oral sex? It's a game of control. For some, it's an act of surrender, handing the moment over to her, saying, "This is yours." That takes real courage. For others, it's about breaking past insecurities, about mastery, knowing you hold the power to take her to the edge and pull her back, like a maestro leading an orchestra. Either way, it's a delicate balance of strength and vulnerability. Done with the right intent, it's not just an act, it's something greater, pure magic. Number 4, perfection is a trap. What she truly wants isn't flawless technique, it's you. Present, real, fully there. Stoicism teaches one simple truth. Don't waste energy on what you can't control. Instead, focus on what you can. Show up with effort, with care, with an open mind. That's what sets you apart. That's what changes everything. Number 5, it all comes down to acceptance. Loving every part of her, physically, emotionally, and yes, sexually. When you break free from the stigmas, you're not just liberating yourself. You're giving her something deeper, proof that she's seen, embraced, fully accepted, and that's real power. Number 6, talk or walk, because here's the real game changer, communication. If you can't openly discuss what she likes, what she needs, and how she feels, you've already lost. Ask questions, watch her body language, explore together. Intimacy isn't a checklist, it's a journey. And when honesty leads the way, the pressure fades. What's left? Pure magic. Number 7, the giver's high. It's for the ones who get it, giving without expectation. The Stoics called it virtue. Today we call it love. When you're fully present, when her joy becomes your mission, it's not just her who wins. That connection, it strengthens you too. Real relationships don't thrive on ego or games. They're built on care, on trust, and that's where the real power lies. Bonus point 1, the warrior's vulnerability. Here's what most won't say. Showing vulnerability doesn't weaken you, it makes you stronger. Stoicism was never about being cold, it's about control. And the ultimate control, letting your guard down, focusing entirely on her. That's the kind of courage most men avoid, but the ones who embrace it, they stand apart. Bonus point 2, the quiet revolution. This isn't about sex, it's about transformation. In a world that tells men to dominate, to control, to always take, choosing to give is an act of rebellion. You're not just breaking the mold, you're rewriting the story. You're saying, I don't play by society's rules, I honor her, I see her. And that's real power. Bonus point 3, the masculine struggle. Let's get real. There's an invisible tug of war inside every man during intimate moments. On one side, society has drilled into us the role of the strong one, the protector, the provider, the one with all the power. On the other, true connection shows us that vulnerability doesn't weaken you, it deepens the bond. For some men, oral sex represents that vulnerability. It's not about losing power, it's about dropping the mask society forces us to wear. It's about saying, I see all of you, and I'm here for it. That act, it becomes a symbol, a step away from ego and toward a deeper, rawer connection, where nothing is held back. And here's the twist. Men who embrace this vulnerability often feel stronger. They realize that true masculinity isn't about building walls. It's about having the courage to tear them down. Bonus point 4, why men fear judgment and how it holds them back. Let's address the elephant in the room. Many men avoid intimate acts like oral sex because of a fear of judgment, not just from their partner, but from their own inner critic or society's warped standards of masculinity. Thoughts like, what if I'm not good enough? Or what if she's comparing me to someone else? Start to creep in, and suddenly intimacy turns into a battlefield of insecurities. But here's the truth. This fear isn't really about her. It's about you. It's rooted in a deep, almost primal fear of not measuring up. Men are constantly fed the idea that they have to perform, excel, dominate, be perfect. Anything less? Failure. Here's the kicker. Women don't crave perfection, they crave authenticity. The moment a man stops trying to prove himself and starts being present, listening, learning, engaging, that's when he stops fearing judgment and starts building trust. And trust me, nothing is sexier than that. Bonus point 5, the hidden power of silent confidence. Here's a secret most won't tell you. The loudest person in the room is rarely the most confident. The same goes for relationships. Silent confidence, the kind where a man doesn't need to boast, prove, or perform, is magnetic. It's what makes a partner feel safe, valued, and deeply connected. In moments of intimacy, silent confidence says, I'm here, fully present, and I've got you. It's not about fancy techniques or ticking off boxes on an imaginary checklist. It's about showing up with intention, paying attention to the little things, and letting actions speak louder than words. Silent confidence is also about being comfortable with the unknown. Not every moment will go perfectly, and that's okay. What truly matters is the willingness to show up, learn, and grow together. And when you do, you unlock a level of intimacy that goes far beyond the physical. It becomes something sacred, something unshakable. Final thoughts, be the man who dares. At the end of the day, relationships aren't built on grand gestures. They're built on small, consistent acts of care, curiosity, and vulnerability. Be the man who steps out of his comfort zone. Be the man who prioritizes connection over ego, who chooses intimacy over fear. If you're ready to go deeper, not just in your relationships, but in understanding yourself, hit that subscribe button and drop a comment below. Let me know your thoughts or share your story. Let's start a conversation that challenges outdated norms and celebrates true connection. Remember, real men aren't afraid to love boldly. Let's break the cycle and redefine what it means to show up for the people we care about. See you in the next video.